new computer. So when I did this on the old computer, I'm just testing it. Oh, that's immaculate, immaculate. So
Yeah.
did this on the old computer because like you could see me talking and you
Right.
could see me moving. But
Right.
before my laptop, it looked like a kung fu movie and shit. You hear my voice, and then everything else will come after.
That's the delay sync.
Yeah, yeah. Oh man, I'm enjoying this very much.
Hmm.
It's microphone out the picture. Yeah, it's like I'm starting from scratch. How well can you hear me with it up here?
Oh, perfect. Perfectly. Perfectly.
Very well. That's what I'm looking for.
There you go.
What about these horns right here?
What horns?
Oh, you didn't hear them?
I didn't hear any horns.
Damn, I gotta reconfigure that too. Then I got a whole new setup now, so I gotta figure out all this poop. Oh, you got Iron Man popping off.
Yeah. I've been messing around with this thing. I've been meaning to put new batteries in the stupid thing. Uh, my daughter comes down here and messes around with my stuff from time to time.
And that's the thing about it though, because I have collectibles. They only see toys.
Yeah. Well, I am out of the little kid business. My youngest is 19.
Yeah, that's my oldest. My oldest is 19. She
Yeah.
just graduated in May. Then the boy, he's 17, and he graduate this up and coming school year.
It's gonna feel weird, man, when you don't have any more in school, man.
Oh
It's
no! I'm stuck. I'm stuck till 28, homeboy. Yeah, that was a package deal with my first marriage, the older two, and
Mhm.
this one came with the current wife. She was like, I don't want no kids because you got two kids and I'm good with that. You got a boy and a girl. I was like, okay. Two
Uh-huh.
to the marriage, she was like, I'm pregnant. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, okay.
Hey, I got one from a previous marriage too. So I feel you. She's actually in the Navy.
Word.
Yep.
How long?
She's been in the Navy now for probably almost 2 years. She's stationed in Hawaii right now.
She liking it?
Oh, she's loving it. I tried to get her into the Air Force.
Yeah.
That's my pedigree. So
Okay. Yeah, my boy is currently doing Air Force ROTC, so JROTC. So
mhm.
he's been doing that for this year will be his third year, and he's looking at joining the military. So I was like, dude, you already got the know-how of the Air Force side. You might as well try for it if you can.
Right. Hey, I know it ain't for everybody, but if you can get in, it's I highly recommend it.
Oh yeah, I do too. 16 years of the Marine Corps here, and I'm just
There
like,
you
still, hey, Air Force, go to the Air Force.
go. And that funny thing, I work for the Army, so
What, like a recruiter or something like that?
no. I am a DoD civilian.
Mm, mm.
My day job. That's why I keep bouncing back and forth between the States and Europe.
Oh, okay. You're one of them.
I'm one. Yes, I am one of them.
Very well, sir.
I am one of them.
Shit.
Uh,
Thing seems to be recording very well and everything. You got my ugly mug up here. You got your handsome mug over there. So I guess we can go ahead and kick it.
let's kick, man.
Let me take another swig of my drink. Turn this fan off.
So this is the first time that I've ever been on a podcast.
What?
Yes.
How? How, Sway? How?
I don't know. I don't know.
And see, this is the thing too. I'm gonna get into it after I kick the intro and everything. Because why are we having this conversation? I would like you to know. So let me hit my intro. I introduce you,
Do
and
it.
we'll go on ahead and rock this thing. So let me. I said I was ready, but now I'm still pulling up shit. Goddamn Twitter. All right. Here we go. What up, everybody? This your boy B Rob, and I'm back with another edition of the Random Rambles with Rob podcast. First and foremost, I'd like to thank you, the listener. I'm leaning back kind of far for coming back each and every week, or however you listen to podcasts. If you're a first-time listener, I appreciate you very much for giving my show a try and get into your social media app of choice, compose a fresh DM, and DM the person that recommended you to me, if anybody recommended you to me, and tell that person thank you for cluing you into what the show is and whatnot. But speaking of social media, you can follow the Random Rambles with Rob on various platforms to include Twitter at 3R Show and Instagram at the 3R Show. I got some content on YouTube, some shit on Twitch, but for everything that I forget to mention here, you can find everything on randomrob.com. Yeah, had to slow it down because I don't want nobody to freaking, mistype that in or anything like that. So randomrob.com. Formerly randomrobcast.com. As you can see on my poster up there, I had to use some white to wipe that out because I ain't want nobody to get the wrong information. I don't own the domain no more, so I can't use that no more. But joining me, one man that I've come to know through the universe of Twitter and whatnot. Very supportive guy in many of the Twitter chat groups that we have going on, to where we, it's a support system. I'm a podcaster, you're a podcaster, you got this thing going on. I retweet you, you retweet me. That's how we get the word out. We share each other's communities and whatnot. And this man is in damn near every group that I'm in, begrudgingly to myself. Not nothing against him. It's just like every 5 minutes somebody add me to a goddamn retweet group, and I'm just like, fuck, my phone going off. I'm trying to work and shit. My battery dying earlier than it need to and shit because all these goddamn notifications. But it's for a good cause. But joining me, curator of Marvel Universe Online, one Mr. Mike Davenport. How are you, sir?
How is everyone out there? I am doing excellent. Welcome everybody from the nation, the country of Germany, where I'm currently living.
What? You in Germany?
I am in Germany.
Okay, so that's what was confusing me, because when I got the freaking original appointment request, it was like 8 p.m. and I was like, but on my end, because like you put your time zone in there, it'll give you your local time.
Yes.
And when I get the request, it'll put it in my local time. So I was thinking, all right, 1 p.m. All right, we're good to go. Then I looked down at the thing, I was like, 8 p.m. I was like, God damn, I thought he was like on the East Coast or some shit like that. But
I'm on the East Coast plus 6.
Yes. Yeah, that's
plus 6. So yes, I've lived in Germany off and on for 23 years.
So that includes service and after?
That includes service and after.
Yeah, I mean, I take it that you enjoyed a little bit, right?
I do. I like Germany. We actually bought a house here. I have two German kids. One is out of the house. The other one is on her way out.
So you got some German chocolate, huh?
I do.
That's amazing, man. Shit. That's all because me being in the Marine Corps, it made it limited to where we can go. I mean, we have bases all over the world, but the main hubs that we go to is either Camp Lejeune, North Carolina. That's sorry, that shit.
Mm-hmm.
Camp Pendleton in California, and that's really the two main hubs. Or you can go to Okinawa, Japan, and that's it. So that's the main 3 places you go. I mean, they got spots in between. I was fortunate enough to go to South Carolina for a little bit, which is a hidden gem. They got a spot in Georgia. I forget the name of it. Kings Bay. There's another place in Albany, Georgia, that's like ultra hidden and shit. So I mean, if you get there, it's just like, the gods are looking out for you. And then there's like Miramar, California. These are all the places that I begged and pleaded to get you. Right. Just like, need you here. But I'm transportation. They need me everywhere. So that's a whole nother thing. Because you give me hot under the collar. I gotta take me a cool drink myself off.
Yeah, I mean, it's we bought a house here, so but we're still thinking about whether or not we want to whether we want to retire here or whether we want to retire in the States. So You know, like I said, we bounce back and forth every few years, you know, because of rotation. So before we came back to Germany, we were in Kentucky, in Fort Knox.
Man, I know I'm familiar with that place.
Yes.
My sister married an army man, and he was stationed in Fort Knox and everything. And we would go out there for the holidays and visit. Snow, hate it.
Yes. No, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. Wintertime, that whole place shuts down.
Oh man,
It is not fun.
It's just crazy. It's just I can remember the last time we went out there. I had to be in elementary school or just on the verge of going to middle school and whatnot. And they lived in this apartment complex out there, and they had this big ass hill right in front of the apartment complex. And we thought we was gonna be cool, like on Christmas Story or one of these Christmas movies and shit. We're gonna get a cardboard box and we're gonna go slide down. I was like, but it don't work like that with wet cardboard and snow and whatnot. So we get like 2 inches down and just roll off the cardboard down the hill. My favorite. But I mean, how long you been in the military before you got out?
Actually, I joined the Air Force in '88. Got out of the Air Force in '93. Last duty assignment was Germany. Just stayed.
Okay. So now that you've been there for so long or whatever, and you have kids that are native to there and whatnot, I mean, how does that affect your status? Are you dual citizenship in it, or?
My kids, I'm still a U.S. citizen. My wife is a German citizen. My kids have dual status.
Okay.
So they can.
Not making the convert. Why you not doing the high five, man?
Oh no! You're not the U.S. government pays me way too well.
Very well. I mean, I understand. Maybe that's something after you retire you can think
yes,
about.
Yeah, and that's another thing. I'm about to hit 50, so then you start thinking about retirement, of course. So that's another can of worms. Whether or not, hey, are we going to retire in Germany? Am I going to go native, or are we going to just all pack it up and go back to the States? My wife is down for either or. So
to be fair, she's native to Germany. You are native to the United States and everything. You should just go somewhere completely out of the realm of both.
And we thought about that too. Really, after I retire, we can go anywhere.
Exactly.
No matter.
That was the dream for 2021 before this 9-year-old popped up 9 years ago.
Yeah.
We was laying in the bed the other night. Not to get too detailed, but we were just sitting up there, and she had a hand across my chest, had a head on my shoulder. She's like, you know what? We could have been walking around butt naked next year. Damn it. This is your fault.
Yeah. That is the dream. Like I said, we get this one out of the house, and this place is actually probably too big for us. So for just the two of us. So once she's gone, we probably want to sell it. At least think about selling it. But again, it depends where we want to move. Want to stay in Germany, or we're going to move back to the States. Yeah. Who knows?
It'll flesh itself out. I mean, all will be revealed, sir.
Yes.
Before we move to further and everything, I mean, it's obvious that you have an affinity for comic books and things and the like and whatnot. But I need to point out one glaring thing it's been taunting me since you turned on your video feed.
Here it comes.
All right. What you think I'm going to say?
You're going to ask me about that poster, X-Men Apocalypse.
Yeah, right. Tell me how you feel about the movie, because I have my own feelings about it. You have enough feeling about it to put the poster up on your wall and whatnot. Come on, give me some thoughts.
No, okay. Here's the thing: the poster is there because I can't find a better poster. It's actually replacing a Green Lantern poster, so that's saying something.
You went from one extreme to the other.
Exactly. I mean, the whole series, the whole X-Men series, unfortunately in my opinion, started on a bad footing. Mm-hmm. Honestly, the first X-Men movie, what's his name? The director, his vision for the X-Men, he wasn't really a fan of the comic, and it showed. I mean, don't get me wrong, the X-Men movie series, Fox's X-Men started out with a great premise, but they wanted their own spin on it. So they got a bunch of the characters that everybody liked, and they went with it. And unfortunately, that premise that they started on, they had to continue. So the movies never really got to be as great as a lot of people wanted them to be. You know,
Yeah.
Wolverine broke out and he did his own thing in his movies, and that, in my opinion, saved the franchise.
Yeah.
Because X-Men series, X-Men movies would have died after the first three. They would have been done.
Mhm.
You know, First Class came out. They tried. First Class had a lot of good points in it, but you know, First Class really had more misses than it did hits, and we all know that one miss in that movie that nobody liked.
I don't know. I mean, there's things to choose from. I mean, can you be more specific?
Okay, so First Class when they killed my man, what's his name, the black dude with the
Yeah.
morphin power.
All right.
Yeah, yeah, you know.
Mhm.
So the franchise itself was running on life support after that. Days of Future Past was pretty good, but again, they suffered from the same issues. They had a lot of good points that hit, a lot more points that just failed, just weren't really good. And that movie started out terribly.
Yeah.
Terribly, terribly. This the main villain.
Now,
Apocalypse.
are we talking about started off terribly as in, opening sequence of the movie, or started off terribly as in the reveal of Apocalypse?
Yes, the reveal of Apocalypse was terrible.
Yes.
Terrible.
I believe they got a good actor, but the presentation was
Yes,
just
yeah, right. I mean, honestly, the actor was great. I mean, that dude can do no wrong. But the practical makeup for the villain was terrible. And the internet lambasted it for like months.
you know what?
For
Now that I'm
months.
thinking about it, now that I'm thinking about it, we having this conversation about, what we were presented with in the character and the internet just going,
Yeah.
why did this not get the Sonic treatment? That's what I'm wondering about right now.
I think they were too far in. I mean, they were too far in to change it. This is going to be your guy. This was it. And I bet I felt like a lot of money was riding on the whole Phoenix reveal at the end,
Yeah.
picking the franchise back up again. But honestly,
A whole bunch of correcting of the timeline through time
yes,
and whatnot.
yes, you can feel them wanting to hand the torch over,
Mhm.
you know, from the old movies to the new ones, you know, and
I had no problem with that.
no, none at all. And what I loved at the end of what was it? Not First Class. Days of Future Past. No, yeah, it was First Class, where they all had the individual costumes there in the danger room.
Yeah.
I thought, okay, we're going to get the real X-Men, right? I was like, okay, they straight. Everybody's got the costumes. Everyone's Cyclops is looking right. You know, Storm was looking right. Everybody was looking right in their costumes. Come back to Apocalypse, and all of a sudden, everyone's in the same leather one pieces again.
Kind of weird. They had all characters, but they still old as still Trump.
Yeah,
So I mean, I kind of see why Hugh Jackman wanted to step away because he literally put all that shit on his back. And,
yeah. He carried the whole franchise.
yeah.
Carried the
So
whole.
yeah, just like all right, we can get rid of Halle Berry and all these other motherfuckers, but you gotta stay, and we'll put all these teenagers. They're probably older than that, but we'll put all these teenagers around you. I was like,
Yes.
they changed everybody.
Oh, and my girl, what's her name? She was by the Phoenix movie, she was pretty much just phoning it in.
Yeah, Mystique.
Yeah, Mystique.
Yeah, it's just like her costume was all elaborate in the first movie. The second
Yeah.
movie kind of tapered back, and then the third movie was like put a wig on her. We
Put a
good.
wig on, some blue powder, she good. That was it. Yeah, she was ready. She was ready to leave, and I think the audience was ready to see her go.
Yeah, and it's not even that. It was just by this time they were ready for this franchise to go.
Yeah. You're absolutely right.
Mhm.
So if one of if anybody has a suggestion for a better poster, I am all ears.
Word. Uh, I,
I'm definitely looking to replace that guy.
I've seen you in Random Realms with Rob poster.
There you go.
But like I said, got to know you a little bit on Twitter and everything through these various groups and whatnot. You know, just you always there with the thumbs up 2 times,
That's right.
or even 3 times at some points.
That's right.
Showing your support for different shows and groups and everything like that. But you know, it was one of those things to where that's what I knew you as. You know, I was like, all right, I see Marvel MMO on here. I'm like, all right, I know who that is. I know what he's doing. Good guy. Then this was spawned the interview. This is why we're here right now. On your profile after so goddamn long just to see what was going on. And then there it is. It's just all in my face. It's just a goddamn ideas for an open world Marvel game spanning the entire Marvel universe, and it lets you be the hero and the villain. And I was just like, what? What? He doesn't do a podcast? I mean, he's making games and shit or pitching games. And then I go to the website and I'm hit with this beautiful opening video and everything, going through the cosmos and the galaxies and everything, you know, hyping me up, look like a movie trailer and shit. And it's just laid out. Got the business plan, got the gameplay, got the freaking official handbook, the lore, the world, everything.
It is a plan. It is a plan, and it is a long-term plan. And a lot of the reason why, I mean, I get asked, well, why are you doing it? I mean,
why not?
Exactly. That is exactly the answer, because it doesn't exist. I played a little background. Me and some friends of mine, the whole thing started out as a goof. Me and some friends of mine, we used to play City of Heroes back in the day.
This podcast.
Started out as a goof. After me and some friends, we used to play City of Heroes. I mean, I played City of Heroes for 8 years, from launch to sunset. So we were just sitting around, we're talking, well, what would since we all read about when Marvel tried to sue City of Heroes for copyright infringement. So, you know, as a goof, we were like, well, what would a Marvel version of City of Heroes look like? So we started throwing around ideas, and I actually started writing a few of them down. So, you know, we would want an open world. We want, of course, you know, create your own characters, you know, take the City of Heroes, those standard superheroes that basically were kind of vaguely, you know, designed behind famous Marvel and DC characters anyway.
Yeah.
Use them as, you know, actual Marvel characters and have the same kind of basic setup. So again, I started writing all this stuff down, started formatting it. I created a Facebook page, and I just started dumping the ideas in there. Okay. So, and for a while, I didn't really pay much attention to it. So the ideas kept coming in. People kept hitting me up on the street saying, hey, I got, you know, I saw your page, and here's an idea. What do you think of this? What do you think of this? And again, started writing stuff down, started formatting it again. And then at some point, the Facebook page just kind of got too big. So there's just way too much stuff. So I said, I got to put this into on a website. So I had never built a website before in my damn life.
Same.
So I found a really simple a website builder and started just dumping the stuff in there.
I'm on it. It looks real good.
Well, this is what you're looking at now is the new one that Crystal Storm did for us.
Yeah. Shout outs to Crystal, a former guest.
Shout outs to Crystal. She is the bomb. So she set that up for us. Now we look even better than before. But the purpose was to you know, the guys were like, well, this is a little bit more than a goof now. This is more, what would we call this? What are we doing here? And I said, well, let's make it a pitch. And I said, well, okay, well, if we make a pitch, how are we want to, you know, everybody pitches stuff all the time, you know, common. So how would our pitch stand out from anyone else's? I said, well, instead of just saying, hey, gee whiz, wouldn't this be cool if, let's do the research. Let's go out and let's find out what we would want in the game. We already got most of that. So we figured out, hey, you know, let's talk to some professionals. How does the development process work? how would that be marketed, licensing, the whole deal? How would you sell it to the fans? How would you actually create that product? And so, I got fortunate enough that when I put feelers out, I got some feedback from from some developers that were really open about talking to me about, the practicalities of actually developing a game. What goes into it? What are some common softwares that they use? So I actually reached out to because I didn't know anything about game development. I'm still learning the process from people talking to me about it. So CryEngine reached out and they said, hey, listen, here's if you were going to use CryEngine as your engine to develop this game, here are some of the pitfalls, and here's some of the advantages of CryEngine. So on our page, you see that we're proposing CryEngine. Mm-hmm. And of course, everybody say, well, why are you using CryEngine? I said, well, they're the ones that talk to us. I love what I'm actually looking at. What's the name of the other one? I'm having a brain fart here.
So what happened, like the City of Heroes or whatever? Was that out before the DC Universe Online came out?
City of Heroes was the first.
Okay, yeah.
They were the first superhero MMO. They were the first.
Can't forget about it. I mean, I know a lot of people did, and I did momentarily, but they had the Matrix Online for a while.
Yes, they had the Matrix Online for a while too, which was a pretty awesome game too. I mean, it was pretty janky, but
yeah. If they did that now, because I know they talk about doing a fourth film and whatnot, if they would had the intention now to do what they did then here in 2020, I believe it would be a better game.
Yeah, the Wachowskis were innovative. They were the first to talk about cross platforms, mm-hmm. cross-platform entertainment. They were the first to talk about taking the Matrix from the movie to anime to games. Mm-hmm. So they had the Matrix was on all three of those before anybody was even thinking about doing that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and what was interesting about them, the Wachowski brothers are now the Wachowski sisters. that shit blew my mind, because it's just like, all right, you as an individual, as a human being, I mean, you have your right to do everything you want with your life and your body and whatever it is, there's no qualms with that. But I mean, you're a twin, and then your twin decides to make this radical movement, and then you do it as well. It's just like, is that just a twin thing, or?
Hey, I don't know, but hey, that was definitely interesting.
Now they just went from the Wachowski brothers to the Wachowskis.
Because you got to keep the brand.
Well, but what was funny about that, I'm thinking about them now and everything. You talk about video games, because they did have a video game series.
Yes.
2 games, which I have right here under my desk on the original Xbox. Into the Matrix.
Into the Matrix, yes. And that game was dope. I love that game. I love the fighting in it. I love the driving in it. Yes. The game was on point.
Well, I'm on the driving level right now, because I went back through the replay and everything. And it's cool, but that little arrow.
Yeah.
So I'm like, it'd be like, turn here. It's like that damn that Allstate commercial when the GPS go rogue and shit. It'd be like, turn like that wall and everything. But yeah, there's that in the Path of Neo, the game they put out. That game is freaking awesome.
Yeah.
Because it shows the in between of Neo's actual training and everything. So
exactly.
The movie, him plugging in, I know Kung Fu, but in the game, you get all the in between and everything. So you get all the training simulations and everything. And then you get an alternate ending, narrated by the Wachowskis.
Right.
The movie could have ended rather than how it did in part 3.
Yeah. And that was the hook. That was exactly the hook. They knew from the beginning that if you wanted the total Matrix experience, you'd have to cross media platforms to do it. And a lot of people did.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, I did too. A lot of people did. They watched the movies, They went to the anime, watched the Matrix anime, came back, played the games, and the piece de resistance was going to be the Matrix Online.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. See, it's fucking amazing to go back and think about all that stuff now. Because when you played the game and even Animatrix, so all the questions that you had, they built this whole media library to answer all your questions.
Exactly.
The times between part 1 and part 2, when Neo was actually going out and waking people up and saving them, that all that's covered in the Animatrix. So if you had the Animatrix movie, you got different people that he saved and different people waking up. That's all covered in the Animatrix. Yep. And then in between 1 and 2, in between 2 and 3, I believe that's where Into the Matrix is.
Right.
They got Naomi and Ghost side missions and all these different side stories. They got cinematics in the game. Damn movie, even as bonus scenes, I don't think. So you got that.
Some of the scenes line up so perfectly, like when Morpheus was falling off the back of the truck.
Yep.
The game lines up perfectly to when Homegirl pulls the car up right behind the truck and catches him.
Yeah.
Right there in the game.
So I mean, we've regressed.
Yeah.
Regressed. Because of what the Matrix came out in 98 or something like that, 99?
It's an old game.
No, I'm just talking about the Matrix period, 99.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So it came out in 99 because Blade came out the year before in 98. And they just pushed forward and created all that content, all that freaking synchronicity, all that goddamn just, it all links together.
It's what do we say in Marvel? It's all connected.
I just don't understand why we're going backwards, goddamn it.
Well, the MCU is a perfect example of like we're saying, the MCU is a perfect example of trying to string along a larger narrative across multiple movies.
But we talk about the MCU, we talk about Kevin Feige is trying to do that.
Let's keep Mr. Perlmutter out of that. But yeah, Kevin Feige's doing that exactly. That was his plan.
Why don't we have more figureheads like this? Because you was talking about how what it was, the X-Men series, the franchise, or whatever. They were just in their characters and putting their own spin on their own stories and whatnot. All right, cool. But that's DC all along. They're just like, fuck it, throw Batman over here, throw Superman over here. We can take up these characters, and it's the same timeline, just different Earth and the Elemental P, and she don't make no sense. Martha, why'd you say that name?
They want. I can see the executives in the boardroom saying, "We've got to catch up. We got to catch up.
But this was
we got to catch that market share because someone still thinks that this whole thing is a bubble and it's going to burst. And if DC doesn't catch up to the MCU, then we're going to miss out." So
they're course correcting right now. I'll give them that.
Right. They are course correcting right now. They're seeing the value. They're not going to create another MCU. So the smart idea is to put more value in the individual character films, and they're doing that now. They're finally doing that. So,
and I have a qualm with what they did, because obviously, like you were saying, they was trying to catch up. They're trying to take in some of those things and whatnot. But it's just they put a movie out with all the characters that they didn't build up to.
Right.
And then they was gonna go from boom, everybody's here. Now trickle down, all the raindrops will make their own individual things and all this stuff. I didn't have a problem with that,
No, and as comic book fans, we are familiar with these characters. We've been from sight, we know, but they're not just making these movies for just comic book fans, and that was kind of the problem.
Yeah, okay. I see.
Your regular fan needs character development. And in a movie like this, you need more than one movie per character. You need an individual movie per character for the proper development. You just don't have enough time in a single movie to develop each one of these characters the way they need to be. I mean, Superman and Batman had the good fortune of already having that established. The rest of them, if you're not a comic book fan, you're looking at, well, who the hell is freaking Cyborg?
Yeah.
Who the hell is that guy? And why should I care?
Yeah, because they made him. All I knew from Cyborg was goddamn Teen Titans and Teen Titans Go. And
Yeah,
he's
and see, you're already ahead of the game there. You're already ahead of the game there. Your average moviegoer doesn't know jack about him. Doesn't know jack about Flash.
Mhm. What I'm interested in though, since they implemented the Flash, and then they had that one scene, I think it was in Batman v Superman or whatever, when he
Yes.
came back and reached out to Bruce and everything. I was like, oh, they're gonna do some time travel shit. They're gonna do the Flash paradox or some crazy junk. And I was just like, oh yeah. And they can use that
Yes.
to correct all the shit because we
Mhm.
all know time travel is the answer.
And it is all time travel is always the answer. And when in doubt, Flashpoint.
Yeah, because they can fix a lot of stuff with that. I mean, they can even tie in because they always notorious, from what I understand of DC, to have like the multiple Earths and all kind of other things like that.
Yeah, they're masters of that. DC are masters of the multiple Earths. They've been doing that long before even Marvel. I
Yeah,
mean, and they've already established with the movie Flash meeting the TV Flash.
that was fucking amazing.
Right.
That
So
was
there's your bridge right there. So if they can do Flashpoint, if they can do a movie version of Flashpoint, they can easily tie in the TV shows again.
mhm. See, and that was my thing about it because everybody would always get all up in arms about why DC doing this, why DC doing that. You know, these don't even jive with these or whatever. I was like, because they have that in their pocket, you
Yeah.
know. And that made sense to me because I'm vaguely aware of, what they got going on over there. So I was like, so they can make all the different stories they want. They can do the freaking killing joke if they want to. They can have 30 different Jokers. They can have 30 different Batmans because it's all the different universe.
Right, exactly, and I think that's a better plan for them.
And
Just
Marvel kind of fell into it because of how they write stuff.
yeah,
So we've had across the span because of Sony and Marvel, we had three different Spider-Man iterations and
yeah,
whatnot. So now they've created Into the Spider-Verse, which
yes,
sew all that shit up.
and that's. I hope that eventually Sony and Marvel are working that whole thing out because there's a lot of money left on the table if they can tie those together. And I just don't want Sony to think that they can go out there and start making these Spider villain movies without actually Spider-Man in them.
Yeah, that's that's what get me about Marvel, whatever. Just seeing that because we can say all the shit that we want about DC, but DC owned all their shit.
Yes, they
Marvel
did.
was in their last legs and everything was whoring themselves out. Oh baby, I got these cheeseburgers, man.
And they went on a mission. They went on a mission, literally went on a mission to get every one of their properties back.
Yes.
Every one of them. They hook or by crook, they got everybody back. They just got Hope and Namor back from
Oh,
I believe it's is it Paramount
okay.
own the movie rights to him.
Yeah, because I believe Namor is going to be one of the villains in Black Panther 2, right?
Oh! See, you're feeding to the rumor.
Yeah, that's what I said. Oh, I heard.
Yeah. You're feeding to the rumor. See, my thing is I don't subscribe to that because I have a hard time understanding why they would be beefing.
Mhm.
Why would they be beefing? Like Wakanda is in Central Africa, and Atlantis is all the way out in the Atlantic Ocean. I mean, we know as comic book fans, we understand from the comics why they beefing, but that has nothing to do with what's going on in the MCU unless they plan on taking that walk and getting to that point where Namor and Black Panther would have issues with each other. I don't
Yeah,
know. I mean, I think it'd be cool, but I think Namor needs his own movie.
yeah. Only thing that I've I feed more into the rumor because I'm not close to source material. I mean, a lot of what I know comes from this franchise of movies.
Hmm.
So there was a reference to it in Endgame, to where
Yeah.
there's tremors under the ocean and all
Yeah.
that.
Right. That piqued up that perked up everybody's ears when they heard that line too. Yeah, I caught that too. I caught it too.
But then we have all this other bullshit as well, to where people just take things and run with it or
Oh,
whatnot.
yeah.
When they was doing the original previews and marketing for Batman versus Superman, when Alfred was in the Batcave and whatnot, and they had like this green glow, and they had a reflection off of one of his helmets in the back. It's like, oh, the Green Lantern. I was like,
Oh, yeah, yeah.
it's just light. It's all it is. It's just a refraction of light on a
Right.
object. You're getting too crazy.
Just slow your roll. Just slow your roll.
So what you think about the Snyder Cut shit that's coming to HBO Max?
Here's what I hope. I hope the Snyder Cut is everything that everyone has been hoping for. Here's what I think. It ain't.
No.
I don't think there is much more footage that is going to. I don't think there is any amount of footage that is going to significantly improve what we've already seen.
Okay. So I mean, it's almost in the vein of what Batman versus Superman, and even Suicide Squad to a certain extent.
Yeah.
They extended cuts on the disc, and I believe with that extended content that they had on the those discs and whatnot, it gave more to the story. It didn't make it a hell of a lot better, but it made it a little bit more understandable because it filled in a lot of blank spaces to where it just jumped from this one thing to another thing, and you're like, well, how did it tell? Whatnot, and the extended cuts kind of fill in those gaps.
Yeah, I think the Schneider cut is probably going to ease a little bit of the movie's disjointed feeling. I think a lot of people felt like this movie just jerked you from scene to scene, just kind of jerked you in different directions, and if you weren't really a comic fan, you kind of left not understanding what was going on in a lot of scenes. But I don't think it's going to fundamentally. I don't think you're getting a better movie. That's what I don't think you're going to get a significantly better movie at the end.
Yeah, because they dump. It's going to be interesting because they actually dump money into it to CGI and do all this other stuff and Bob. They got this guy infamous on Instagram and everywhere else for his renditions of certain characters and whatnot. Boss Logic.
Yeah, I know Boss.
I mean, he out there doing mock-ups of Dark Side or Seed or whatever the fuck they call him. I mean, I always call him Dark Side, even though it's not spelled that way.
Yeah.
But it was just like hyping everybody up and shit. So
yeah.
Watch, whether it be a free trial, subscribing, or a bootleg, I'm gonna watch it.
Everybody's going to watch it. Everybody's going to watch it. Again, I go back to the corporate boardroom, and everyone's looking at the hashtag release the Snyder Cut, and they're seeing dollar signs.
Yeah.
So of course, some way, somehow, they're going to put this together and they're going to put it out there so that a movie that it made its money but could make more money is going to get put out there. So from a financial point of view, it makes perfect sense. They played coy. I believe they had already established that they were going to do this maybe as long as a year ago. But they played coy up until now about whether or not they were actually going to release it. I believe they had made a decision a long time ago.
Yeah, I believe so.
It was smart. It was smart. It was smart marketing. Very smart marketing.
Like the whole controversy about Sony and the Spider-Man shit and whatnot.
Yeah.
I believe they hashed that out a long time ago.
Oh, absolutely.
But it's just how they play it out on the things. We don't know if we're gonna do it, and
Tom Holland getting on the phone, teary-eyed, saying, "Please say Spider-Man, come on."
Yeah, it's all a game. It's like Will and Jada right now.
Yeah. Oh goodness, and I get it. I get it. Like I said, it's how the game is played, and they'll get to release, Batman. They'll release Justice League again.
Mm-hmm.
With some footage that they already had, and they're reselling the same product a second time.
Yeah.
So I'd do it.
Yeah, longevity material.
Exactly.
And then there's when that come out, shit. When was it? Was the Justice League movie? I got the laptop in front of me. I don't know why. Let's see when. asking me because that's your profession.
Yeah, 2017.
All right. It's far enough back, but I mean, they might have people that just kind of tuned out to when it came out originally, then whatever. You're always getting new people, regardless of
You
whatever.
are. You are. You always get new people.
And then Sony right now I think they're trying to either partner with or buy out Epic Games or something.
They put $200 million in a minority stock, a minority share in Epic. I mean, $200 million. That's not even going to get you a game, you
Nah.
know. So I guess it seems like it's a goodwill move, to be quite honest. You know, Sony get $200 million. Epic could use the influx of cash. You know, an extra 200 mil doesn't hurt.
What
You
is
know,
Epic doing bad right now?
no, they're doing fine. They're doing fine. But you know, having Sony involved at however level as a minor, owning minority stock doesn't hurt.
No,
It
no.
looks good on the portfolio.
Hmm. And then that can even lead into other potential things, crossover Sony.
Exactly. $200 million opens up some lines of communication between the two companies.
So I mean, we talked about games and everything like that. Let's go back to your game.
Yes.
I got everything laid out in front of you right now. I can see everything from beginning to end, the whole pitch. Have you ever thought about Shark Tank, sir?
Here are the cold ugly facts. The cold ugly facts are I don't own a license.
True. Yeah.
So the catch, and that's why we're out here, because basically what we want to do with the pitch itself is we want to pitch it to the fans.
Yeah.
So we want to get fan consensus. That's a big. It's important to us to know that what we're pitching is actually something that people want.
Exactly.
A lot of companies spend hundreds of millions of dollars, develop a game, throw it out there, and it's crap, and no one buys it. Anthem. Anyway, but
That game even went for me, man. It's like, oh man, this is gonna be awesome, and then it was on freaking EA Access within a couple months.
Anthem broke my heart. Anthem broke my heart. Anthem broke my heart because it promised a lot of the things, a lot of the open world experience that we're talking about, but never delivered. When that first trailer came out, that thing was beautiful. That was exactly what everybody was looking for, what they expected, but they got none of that. The open world experience, practically didn't exist. Broke my heart. But yeah, we don't own the license, and since I've actually talked with Marvel, and it's kind of a catch-22. So Marvel Games doesn't want to discuss a new project unless it's with a reputable developer or producer.
And I get that. I understand.
Right, I get that too. Now, relevant producers or developers don't want to talk about a new project unless you already have the license. If it's a licensed IP, they won't talk to you unless you already own the license, which we don't. So, catch-22.
Yeah.
So
you got to have experience if you want this job, but I need the job to get
experience. Exactly. So we're hoping that we take our ideas, we continue to expand the ideas, and we put it out there to the fans, and we make enough noise out there that the right people want to talk to us. And I have I have been as open as I can about where we are, that this is a pitch, that we are looking to get more feedback from people in the industry, so that we can, the development piece of it. I mean, I can do lore all day. That I have files of lore that no one's seen yet. The whole game universe is practically written, but I release it as I can, when funds allow. But the development piece of it requires professional input, and so I continue to get out there and continue to get out there and talk to people in the industry where I can, And hopefully, as we're out there, more people in the industry notice us and ask that simple question: well, what are you doing? What is this all about? And how can I help?
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm not doing this to make money, because honestly, I don't need money. I don't. This is a passion project. Me and my friends, this is all a passion project, because it is a thing that we believe the gaming fans and comic fans can spend a significant amount of their time enjoying.
Okay.
Honestly, if this thing was out the way we wanted it to, I'll take you so. You would never play anything else. Never play anything.
You talked about your struggles and trying to acquire a license and getting a reputable developer to back you and everything in the process and whatnot. With all these hurdles that you ran into and whatnot, I mean, you basically have the game here. Why aren't you looking at maybe doing it with independent characters, characters of your own creation, rather than using Marvel properties?
Because I'm not that good. I see all the indie comic books out there, and we have a ton of indie followers, indie comic book followers. I don't have that skill, and honestly, I don't have me or the folks that I work with. We were born, and Marvel's been our whole thing. I don't have the passion. I wouldn't be able to give other characters the same kind of passion that I give to Marvel characters.
I got you. I understand, because like the way you're explaining it is almost like, all right, I'm gonna make this character. She's gonna be from Africa. She's gonna have these abilities to where she can control lightning and wind. God damn it.
Yeah.
Can't use that one.
Well, here's the thing. The reason why Marvel sued City Heroes way back in the day was because you could do just that. Their character creation tool allowed you to create characters that looked just like Marvel or DC characters. But if you're in a Marvel game, and I actually put out a couple of posts months ago about this, that if you're already in a Marvel game, we've all seen homage characters before. So our pitch would be to allow players to make homage characters. Matter of fact, encourage it.
I don't understand that then. It's just like they jumping on their neck trying to sue them because of that and everything. And I'm a wrestling fan, and you get the wrestling creator in WWE, 2K, whatever the fuck, and
right.
You get people from NWA, WCW, freaking AEW, all the independent scenes. They have that flexibility to create those characters and the character creator. Yeah. So what's the issue here? Because it's wrestling and not the conglomerate that Marvel and Disney and Sony is, or
and here's the thing. Here in the original City Heroes EULA, the user level agreement, any character you created back then belonged to City Heroes, to the Cryptic Studios.
Okay.
You using their product to create this thing. I mean, yeah, no one really harped on that. It was tons of fan fiction people wrote using their characters from City Heroes. It was all good. Same deal would be with a Marvel game. Any character you create in the character creation tool would, part of the user level agreement would belong to Marvel.
Mm. And I imagine it's like that DC universe game. So.
Exactly. It's the same deal.
But I believe they should cut you in though, man. Because like, all right, I make this bomb ass character, and somebody just happened to be monitoring the server one night, and it's like, I think I could do something with that. And then they look up the shit and then they draft up a character and they make a character that look very vaguely similar to yours. I believe you should get a piece of that pie.
Hey, I'm glad you mentioned that. One of the features that we haven't put on the webpage yet is build a comic feature.
Okay.
So, the official handbook of the Marvel Universe Online. Part of our promotion on Patreon is that anyone who donates $25 or more, we will create a custom character, any OC that they want, as an entry in the official handbook. Background story, stats, the whole deal. We'll get an artist to come in and build their character, and that character will be part of the Marvel Universe Online. the lore, everything. We'll wrap their character into the lore.
Amazing.
So the reason why the handbook is so important is because the character, first of all, the character creation tool is the handbook entry. So when you log into, so in theory, when you log into the game, the character creation tool comes up as a blank page in the handbook.
Yo, you got Meteor Man 2 in here?
Yep. We have some characters. There will be characters that personal favorites of mine. Meteor Man 2 is a personal favorite of mine because DC doesn't have any Marvel representation. Meteor Man 2 is based in DC.
Yeah, the Power Broker, Spectrum. Yeah.
So when you log in, you create your character, it's a blank page. You put in the stats, you write the origin story of your character, and from then on in, as you play the game, the missions that you run get added to your bio as you go along. And you can create, so that becomes a comic book of your own. You can take your adventures and build your character's comic book. Digital versions, or you can buy hard copies that you can collect other people's comics, other people's entries in their handbook, and you can create your own library, your own official handbook of all the characters that you come across.
It's fucking crazy.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. What if character sucks and you die a lot? So, I mean.
well, that's another thing we run into, whether or not characters even die. You know, City of Heroes had a.
Just even die. No.
Right. You don't die, of course not. But yeah, that was something that we were looking at as a marketing feature. You know, that you can, you know, Marvel can get in on it, and they can have contests where the most favorite character bio or character design wins a contest that allows them to be actually in a real Marvel comic.
Yeah, I like that.
That's the kind of community promotion that we're thinking would be, build that goodwill between Marvel and the players, you know, so that, yeah, you say, well, Marvel owns my character, but look at what they're doing with it. You know, they want to promote you, they want to bring you in as you know, they want to help you promote your creativity.
Yeah, I like that. I dig that a whole lot.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, shit. So here we go. Everything goes to your liking.
Yes.
You know, they'd be like, all right, we on board. We want to throw the money at it. And, you know, you do your thing. We give you the backing. I mean, how long do you believe from the time you get that check in your hand until, you know, the game actually releases? Would you be like, all right, I'm selling my shares. I'm getting the fuck out of here. And I'm going to Aruba. Or even that. I mean, say you get on, you get in the process, you get everything running like how you was just talking about and whatnot. How long would it be until you either backed out or started on a new project? Are there any plans for a new project?
No plans for a new project. I don't like to distract myself with anything with other issues, other things before I feel like this is in a good spot. Honestly, I wouldn't want to get paid for it. I would be on as a consultant.
Okay.
I wouldn't mind the title creative director, which is what I'm already am now. But I wouldn't, you know, I don't need it to be a paid position. My day job pays enough.
Very well. I mean, but more is okay. Well, I tell you what. This is what we can do. We can resolve this issue very quickly. You know, hey, I'm Marvel. We want to buy your shit and do the things and whatnot. We give you creative control, and this is your salary. Well, I make good enough money. Could you transfer those funds to the Random Rambles of Rob first and take care of all that stuff for me?
Honestly, what I would expect first time around, I would expect them to come in and want to buy what I've done so far. Definitely buy the domain, because I kind of snatched that one from underneath them. www.themarveluniverseonline.com. Yeah.
Shit, they can even come at you that way just for that.
Yeah.
What is this stuff on here? I just want the domain name. Give
$50,000 and they can have it.
That's very modest of you.
It is, and it's because it's not about, like I said, I don't need to do this project. And none of the people that are helping us out need it. It's just something that we really want to have exist.
It can't sit inside. It got to get out.
It's got to get out, and that's why I spend so much time on it. I'm in a place in my life right now where I can put this much passion into this project. I couldn't have probably done this at any other time in my life, and I'm glad that I'm able to do it now.
It just everything aligns, and it just makes it happen.
Yes. Yeah, and back when we were just goofing around and talking about this, some weird stuff happened that made me think that we could do this. I mean, when Marvel Heroes sunset, when Gazillion crapped out and Marvel Heroes was when they decided to shut that game down, I thought that was super weird because it came out of left field. I thought, wow, Marvel Heroes is gone, huh? So Marvel doesn't have a quote unquote MMO anymore. They have nothing. And then I found out that another developer, like as late as last year, another developer was actually working on a Marvel MMO, but they wound up having to restructure. So they restructured and they broke out into 3 separate developing studios. And just so happens that one of those developing studios is run by the guy that created City of Heroes.
Huh.
Yeah. So funny thing about that, Jack Emmert. So I actually chatted with him I used to chat with him from time to time on Facebook, on Messenger. And I've actually showed him some of our concept art, and he thought it was pretty cool. And asked him some practical questions about, hey, what happened with the original Marvel Universe Online? Because we borrowed the name from the working title of the original Marvel Universe Online back in the day. That project that never saw the light of day because Microsoft. Turns out, it was a joint venture between Marvel and Microsoft, and they wanted Cryptic Studios to come in and actually make the game because of the success of City of Heroes. Well, turns out, I guess they didn't like what Jack Emmert was presenting to them, so Microsoft wound up backing out.
Huh.
So Marvel Universe Online back then, it was going to happen not long after City of Heroes sunset, so that was gone. That project ended. So Jack Emmert went on to create Champions Online.
Okay.
So, and then from Champions Online, he went and did Star Trek Online.
Word.
Yeah.
You got that connection in there, dog. I mean, you got to put that elbow up there, be like, hey, dog.
I'm not sure where he is right now. I mean, like I said, he likes the project. He thinks it's pretty cool. And I've talked to a couple of other folks that worked on back in the day that worked on City of Heroes as well, and they agreed that it is a cool concept, but they see the difficulties that I've presented before, about licensing and everything. So, I can't look into what they're doing right now. I have a strong suspicion that the new studio that Mr. Emmert is working on right now probably is holding that MMO license for Marvel. But, until I don't think, and of course I asked him because, why the hell not? So I asked him, so what about that license? He said, no comment. Right, exactly. So I said, I gave him a wink. I said, okay, yeah, I got you. I see you. So that's all the hint that I needed. So I backed off, and we haven't talked about it since. So
hey, man,
I'm gonna be.
Yeah. I'm saying there's kind of in between that. I wouldn't.
No.
It's just a thing like you check in every couple of weeks, every month or so. Be like, hey man, what's going on? How you doing? That's how I wind up getting in the wrestling ring at one point in time. It's like hey man, what's going on over there? Y'all need some help with some shit? And you're like, yeah, man, we gonna train you. Come down here and wrestle. I'm like, all right.
Yeah, I send my limited license agreement every 6 months. I send out a limited license agreement request to Marvel, and every 6 months they turn me down. So kind of a ritual.
Hey man, you should do it every 3 months now.
I should every 3 months.
Every quarter.
Every quarter.
Every quarter. So I do it every quarter.
Well, my hope is, and is that we get enough people out there that see it, our project gets in front of the eyes of the right folks, and they come at us. Until then, I'm gonna keep on cranking out content for the project, so that I want people at the end of the day. I think for us, what I'll call the pitch finished when we fleshed out, when professionals can look at it and not have questions. And when a professional looks at it, because I've watched a couple of, I've gone online, some of the conferences that they have, and found out what are the questions that developers tend to have when it comes to new projects, and that's where a lot of the nuts and bolts come from on our project, to try to answer those questions. I mean, it's still a lot of it. The development page is still not as detailed as I would want it to be, but that comes from getting the right people to, sitting down and talking to the right people. But when I'll call it done when I feel like a professional can go on our page and say, okay, this is what this is going to be. This is how they want to develop. That seems reasonable, and this is how we're going to pay for it. That also seems reasonable.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you what, our time has elapsed for this, sir. And I am currently, right now, as I sit in my chair, on your Patreon, and I have pledged my patronage to your cause.
Thanks, sir. Thank you, sir. Muchas gracias. Muchas gracias. We every cent we appreciate, because we are definitely, because another big part of the project is that we want to support, up and coming artists. I say that all the time. But all of our donations go right to commissioning artists and trying to elevate them.
Very well. So, I'm down with the cause. You sold me on your venture, and I am actively contributing some dough to that shit to try to make it happen.
Awesome. You're gonna see. Hey, and stay tuned. Keep watching our page, man. Some cool stuff is coming. If you get on Patreon, you're gonna automatically see what's coming. You are going to be impressed.
Word. So before we wrap this thing up and head off into that this good afternoon, let everybody know where they can find you online. And I mean, they heard what you're working on, so just let them know where you're at.
www.themarveluniverseonline.com. Amazingly enough, yeah, we own that. Catch us on Patreon. Catch us on. We just opened a coffee page for small donations. If you don't feel like you want a monthly commitment to Patreon, coffee for as little as $3, a contribution, one time, one and done, you're good.
So, with that being said, sir, you've been a guest of the Random Realms with Rob, so the door is always open for you to come back.
Awesome. I would love to come back.
Word, to shoot the shit for your doings and findings and whatnot. Hopefully, every quarterly now, you can slip that license in there. Like, oh, yeah, just stamp all that shit over there and go on by. Cause like on another note, it's just like I see some of this shit that that gets licensed, and I don't understand it. You see like a crappy ass pencil eraser box or some shit. I was like, they got licensing for that shit.
There's a game coming out where you play a cat. A cat. Let that sink in. I know people love cats, but there's a whole game. Someone spent millions of dollars on a game to play as a cat.
But that's a point, right? So, sir, I appreciate you and interest in the world of the Marvel Universe and I look forward to see what it turns into.
Earth 619. Enjoy.
All right. right, we are clear, sir.
All right, excellent.
Yep. So I got all this down. I'm gonna chop it up and edit it and whatnot. I have a couple episodes that's recorded already. I just usually get them in and put them out, as I see. So I put out every Sunday. I already got one for this week. So it'll be within the next week or two that this one will come up.
All right, awesome. And this interview has already been, I blocked it off in our newsletter.
Word. Cool.
So you'll be, this will be in our newsletter, which you will be receiving, sir.
For sure.
Okay.
Since we have video for this episode, the video typically comes out before the audio version comes out. So this will be on the YouTube before the freaking audio version comes out. So either way, you have links and all that stuff too whenever I'm done.
Excellent.
All right.
Gracias, sir. Hey, it's been great.
Well, enjoy your evening.
Yes, evening. It's almost 9:15 here.
Oh, okay. All right, cool. So it ain't too late.
No, it ain't too late. Hell, I'll be up for the next 5 hours.
Xbox, something like that.
There you go. All right, brother.
Take it easy, man.